Cowherd, is Harbaugh a better fit in college or the pros?
It's a good question. You can make an argument for both. I would say I'm going to go NFL for this. People think that Harbaugh has no boss in college. Okay, because the feeling is, in the NFL, or college,
Well.
But remember this, Pete Carroll left because your boss in college football is the NCAA, and it wore Pete out. And I think Jim Harbaugh is so absurdly, almost unhealthily competitive.
Sure.
And that's what Pete is that I think the NCAA can't do this camp, can't go there, can't play them, have to do this. I think that's going to wear out Jim Harbaugh, and the highest level of football, and he considers himself highest coach in the country, he'll go to the NFL.
I have a hard time with that only because his style leads to success, but it also burns the candle from both ends. And when you do that, you need a short cycle. What's a shorter cycle, college or the NFL? I'm talking about your players. College. You can do what Harbaugh does for 10 years, 15 years in the college game, and it never wears out because the players are gone before those candles come together. In the NFL, you see what happened in San Francisco. I think it just came together and it was time to move on.
In the NFL, you're dealing with men. And I think that after a while, these guys are like, look, man, I'm a grown man. You ain't talking to me like that, Just get me out of here, And I think that's what the problem is. He has that real strong personality. I mean, with the 3 NFC championship games, Super Bowl lost on the last drive. I know that haunts him. I'm sure he wants to go back to the pros for that. But I still think college is better for him.
Okay, so in both their cases, Jason, they make really good arguments. But that doesn't mean Harbaugh buys into their argument.
That's true. It's what he thinks, ultimately.
So Harbaugh sees himself as great coach.
I prefer your argument for this reason. Eric makes the point about you can only talk to these guys in the NFL for so long this way. The worst thing to do in the NFL is to make that money and lose. Losing hurts worse than the coach talking to you like he's crazy.
That's Jeff Fisher.
And so Jim Harbaugh's reputation as a winner is so immersed, it's so branded, every player gets it. Andrew Luck, the people in Indianapolis, the coach players, the fan base is so thirsty to return to those Peyton Manning days. Everybody's going to tolerate Jim Harbaugh.
Aren't you putting an expiration date, though, on that tenure? Because, listen, winning apparently wasn't enough for the San Francisco 49ers. That's a pretty storied franchise. And it still wasn't enough for them. They couldn't take it. The executives couldn't take it. The players couldn't take it. That works at college. You can be a dictator at college forever. You can be the biggest man on the campus.
I love Colin's point, though, about the hypocrisy of the NCAA having to adhere to their rules.
It wore Pete Carroll out.
But, again, I think it wears anybody out that again, and I don't want to put all coaches on blast, but I just think obeying those rules while you're making so much money and getting so rich off those kids, I think it eats in the minds of most coaches and most men with any humanity. It's like, man, I'm making all this money and I'm recruiting poor kids from here or there, and these rules say I can't do this or that. I just think it's so hypocritical in college football that if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I just want to go draw up X's and O's and coach football and just worry about that than all the other extracurricular things you have to worry about.
What about basic DNA? Is that Jim's a mover. So he's going to move from Michigan eventually. Well, he's not going to go coach another college team. That's his alma mater.
Sure.
In the NFL, you don't have loyalty to the Colts because you played with them. That if we all subscribe to the theory that he's moving eventually, hell, he's still young. He's going to go to the NFL eventually. He's not going to go college to college. He's got the top 3 job in college, top 4. This is a great... You have Andrew Luck. You're not going to do better than that, are you?
This might be unpopular on this desk. I think winning a national championship at Michigan, if you're Jim Harbaugh in the lineage of Bo, when your dad coached with Bo, bringing them back to the... If he wins a national championship at Michigan, that's bigger than winning the Super Bowl. In the pantheon of, like, what that means for a particular fan base, what that means for the legend of your career moving forward. Because Michigan football, you can argue, is bigger as a brand than 3/4 of the league, certainly bigger than the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, but I think that eventually that Super Bowl means more because if he wins multiple Super Bowls. All of a sudden, he's put up there with the elite head coaches, and all of a sudden, you start looking at Hall of Fame coach. I mean, he
different.
right. It's different. It was a good college. I'm gonna say he's a great college coach. He really is. But when you start coaching the NFL and winning Super Bowls, now you're going to. Okay, this is a whole different level. You start
Jimmy
getting that.
Johnson's a legend.
You start getting that.
Because of the Cowboys.
Your name starts coming out. They start probably the name Belichick.
Lombardi.
Belichick.
You better win multiple.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah.
You would have that shot at
I think if they
NFL.
give him the shot, I think he will win
Ask
multiple.
yourself this. Brady retires in 2 years. Andrew, Luck, and Harbaugh connect. Big Ben and Brady are out of this league in 2 years.
Yeah,
Who's the favorite for 8 years to get to the Super Bowl in the AFC? Luck and Harbaugh.
Without question, he would, in his mind, probably have the most talented quarterback if he reconnected with Luck. The other thing is just like I'm from Indianapolis, and I can't think of the word, but we love stars. We're a bit of a groupie town. We don't have Peyton Manning. He could go. They wanted.
Don't have Paul George anymore.
All the rumors were they wanted to install Peyton Manning as the president of the Colts to give the franchise some of that illustrious feel. Jim Harbaugh does all that. I think the Colts are going to make him an offer he can't refuse, give him the power that he wants. And look, I think this year, Joel, he has a shot, and I've been very hard on him, but he has a shot to win the Big Ten.
He does.
If they win the Big Ten
Certainly. He needs
and get
better
into the
quarterback play.
playoffs, if they win the Big Ten and get into the playoffs.
I mean, he would be the hottest commodity in the NFL.
Oh, my
no
word.
doubt. David Shaw would also be right up there. My last argument, and I understand, I come from the college perspective.
Yeah.
I get that, right? I love our sport at the college level. My last take would be, let's say you go and just win one. That's amazing, right? Winning a Super Bowl. Wouldn't it feel a little bit like Gary Kubiak at Denver?
If Jim Harbaugh won one with the Colts?
Yeah.
Well, but Luck would get a lot of
Luck
credit.
would get all the credit. It would be
lot of
Elway.
credit.
Remember, it was Elway, Manning, defense. Oh, hey, who was the head coach for
He
Denver?
stepped
it was
into
Gary
a
Kubiak.
ready-made situation, though.
But let's
this
say,
is in
let's
places
say he
in
wins multiple
turmoil.
Super Bowls.
Multiple.
Let's say he wins multiple Super Bowls.
Eric, that's where you got a great point. Now you're talking about the
now
gold
you're
jacket.
talking. Yeah, now you're
about the
talking.
gold jacket.
The Colts are hot garbage.
They don't have-
Kubiak took over a team that was ready to win.